Hello everybody and welcome to another Spring tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to see how we can use the Bean Factory to instantiate objects of class, and then we will see how to use application context and property initialization within the Spring framework. My name is Nebojša Bačin-Đakula, professor at Singidunum University. This material is not for commercial purposes. This material is intended only for the students of Singidunum University. Now let's get started. So, as in previous videos, we are using Eclipse integrated development environment to create Spring projects. So I opened my Eclipse application. So we want to create a new project, so we go File, New, and choose Java project. I'm going to name this project Spring Project 2. Then I'm going to click on Next. Everything seems fine for now, and Finish. Okay, here's the navigator. Here's the files of our newly created project. So in this project we are going to create two simple classes. First class is Triangle and the second class is Drawing App or Drawing Application. So first let's create a package for those classes. Right click here on Source, choose New, Package. I'm going to name this package com.singidunum and click Finish. And within this package I'm going to create class Triangle. Right click on Singidunum, choose New, Class. Class is Triangle and it's public class. So as every other class, this class inherits java.lang.object base Java class. For now, this Triangle class will be a very simple class. It will contain only one method called draw. So type public void draw, and in this draw method we are going to print very simple text like the triangle was drawn. Okay, and then we'll create our main class. So right click on the project New Class. This time we're going to create the Draw App class or Drawing App class, and this class will be our main class. It will contain main method. So I checked this public static void main and click Finish. So this is Drawing App. So as you remember from our previous videos, we can create class in the main method, instance or object of class in the main method by using operator new, like triangle equals new triangle. But Spring can do this for us. So we could omit this new keyword and we could ask the Spring Beans Factory to create this object automatically for us. But first we must tell the Spring how to do this. We must create the blueprint of this triangle object with all necessary details, and then we ask the Spring Factory to create this object for us. So first I'm going to right click here on project to go to properties. I'll choose Java build path. I'm going to choose this tab libraries, and I'm going to add external jars. Okay, so on desktop here I have all Spring libraries. These libraries are in this Spring framework folder. So go here, ellipse, and Control A to choose all libraries and click open. And then I'm going to add Apache Commons logging libraries that we also need to run Spring application. I'll choose those two libraries, open and apply and close. Now we've added our Spring libraries. As you remember that the Spring factory and Beans factory must have a blueprint of the objects that it needs to create. So this blueprint is in Spring configuration file, and this Spring configuration file is Spring XML file. So that's XML format. So first we must create this XML file. How can we do this? So very simply, we click here on source, right click, choose new and choose other. Then we choose XML file and hit next. The file name will be, for example, spring.xml. So we can choose the name we like here. We don't have to choose spring.xml. We could choose like our name.xml, beans.xml, etc. But let me see, the most common approach is to create this file with the name spring.xml, but it's completely up to you. So I'll choose spring.xml. And I just click here, finish. Okay, it's good. Okay, so I'm going here to source. Okay, so I click here source. Now I need some headers and doc types for Spring. Where can I find them? I can find them very easy. For example, let's go to Google and type like spring.xml. Very easy. And for example, this is our first search result, XML schema based configuration. And here it is. We need this part. See, we need this. Just going to copy this. I'm just going to paste this. Okay, so that's what we need to create this spring.xml file. Okay, so now we have to put something in this XML file. So in this file we will put the blueprint of our objects. So in this project we have triangle class that we want to instantiate. In the Spring terminology, this class is called bean. So Spring project consists of beans, and Spring can automatically instantiate these beans for us. So we don't need to write like triangle equals new triangle. So we just have to configure this XML file, and the Spring will instantiate beans or classes for us. So first we must create this tag called beans, and then within the open and closing beans tag we should specify the details for every bean we want to use in our Spring factory. So let's create bean for triangle class. So we specify bean. Each bean must have ID. It's like a unique name for a bean. So bean, put ID equals, I'll call this bean triangle, okay, low caps. It's logical because class name is triangle. I'll call this bean ID will be triangle. And then we must specify the class for this bean. This bean is triangle class. So triangle.java, but we have to specify the complete package. So what's the complete What's the name of this class with there? Its package. It's const.singidunum.triangle. Okay, so very simply, very straightforward. So we create here under this beans tag, we create within the bean tag ID of our bean, its triangle. We must specify within this as value of this class attribute where is this class. So we must specify the complete path to this class. So it's in the package const.singidunum.triangle. So very easy. Now when we did all of this, we can go here to drawing app. So now if we write like this, triangle equals new triangle. Now we've created our triangle class. Okay, that's good, but we can even run it. Okay, the triangle was drawn. We created this, but we created this manually. In this way, the Spring didn't create this triangle class for us. So what we have to do? We have first to, now we are going to use the first approach using the bean factory, and then we'll see the second approach that we are going to use during the rest of this series. So the first approach, we create the instance of bean factory. So we type bean factory, the name of the instance is factory, equals new XML bean factory. Then as argument to this constructor, we specify new file system resource, and then we specify the name of our XML file. It's spring.xml. But now here are some errors because we didn't import some of the packages, Spring packages. So I just clicked here and choose this import file system resource. Then I click here again, import XML bean factory, good. And then I click here, import bean factory, good. So I've imported everything, but it says that XML bean factory is deprecated. That's true, but I just wanted to show you how to do this with this. In next examples, we're going to use some more advanced things like application context. Okay, but it works. So then we should do the following. So we create a triangle. The object is triangle. You remember from the previous videos. With this, we now call the bean factory and ask the factory to create object for us. So we say triangle equals factory dot get bean, and then within the quotes we specify the ID of the bean the factory we want the factory to produce for us. Its ID is triangle. Okay, but first we must do some conversion. We must convert this result into triangle. So we put like triangle. You see? What have we done here? We created a reference of triangle instance. And then instead of using new operator to create this thing, we ask the bean factory with this getBean method to create object of triangle with triangle ID for us. And then we can specify triangle.draw. That's it. Okay, so it doesn't work because this thing is deprecated. That's how we did before, but now we want to use new approach using application context. So this worked in previous versions of Spring using this XML bean factory, but now we want to do something more up to date. we can use application context interface. And now we'll see how we can do this. Okay, so we can write something like this. I just wanted to show you how it was performed before, but now let's delete this everything. We use application context, so we say application, for example, context equals new class path XML application context, and within the codes we specify the name of this XML configuration file. It's spring.xml. But now we must import this, and okay. Okay, we have to import this. I'm going to remove this. Okay. But I forgot to name this, right? Okay, that's it. Import application. Okay, good. So, what have I done here? We created reference of application context. We state that it's new class path XML application, and within this parenthesis we specify the name of our XML file. Okay, good. That's the way how we are going to do this from now till the end of this series. And now we just write like triangle. Okay, triangle equals. Okay, again we do like type conversion, context dot get bean, but which bean? The bean ID is triangle, and then we just specify triangle dot draw. Okay, and now it works. So that's the way how we are going to do this. We are going to use application context. So with this statement, we are creating a reference of triangle type, and then we ask the Spring application context, the Spring Bean factory, to create a bean for us with ID triangle, and this factory reads this XML file, spring.xml. In this file, there is a blueprint of this triangle object. And according to this blueprint, this factory creates triangle object for us and returns this object, and then we can use this reference to execute methods and to set values for this object. Okay. So that's our first step. Okay, so now let's do something else. Okay, let's go again to our triangle class. Okay, and now let's create a field. Let's create like private string type, and then let's create a getter set for this public. Okay, string get type, return this dot type, for example. Okay. And then let's create setter public void set type string type this dot type equals type. Okay, so we added property, we added field of type string, which is called type, and we create getters and setters for this. So when the Spring creates object of this triangle class for us, we have a mechanism to tell the Spring to automatically for us inject the value of this field type. So in previous videos we talked about dependency injections. So the Spring does dependency injection, and in the context of triangle class, this field is dependency, and we can inject the dependencies by using setters or by using constructors. In this case, we don't have a constructor, so we can use setter to inject the property. So we want Spring to automatically inject the value of this property type for us when we instantiate this triangle class. How can we do this? Very simple. Let's go here to spring.xml class. Okay, and now within this we said that here we create a blueprint for our objects. So I'm going to open this, I'm going to close this here. Okay, so we have a bean with ID triangle, that's our triangle class, and this is opening tag for triangle bean, and this is the closing tag. So here we can specify something like property, and then name equals, that's attribute name equals, and what's the name of the property? The name of the property is type. So name equals type. Okay, we must specify the exact name, it's type, and value. The value is the value that we want the Spring to inject for us. Value equals equilateral, for example. So what have we done here? Within this bean tag, we create property for this field type, and we tell the Spring when we instantiate the object of this triangle bean or triangle class, we tell the Spring that it automatically sets the value of this equilateral class, the value of this, the value of the type, which is equilateral. And in this example, we perform so-called setter injection, because in order to inject dependencies, we must use either setters, either constructors. Since we don't have constructor here, we use setter. Let's test it. Let's go here to drawing app. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, let's see if this properly is set for us. Okay, I'm going to, we don't need this imports anymore. Okay, so now let's see if the value of the type field is equilateral. Let's just say s out triangle dot get type. Let's see. Yeah, equilateral. So in this example, we did very simple dependency injection. In this example, we use setter in this triangle class to set the value of this dependency, which is of type string and its name is type. So we did this by defining the value of this property in the spring.xml file. So that's our first very simple dependency injection. Let's, for example, this draw method, let's enhance it like s out the triangle of type get type was drawn. Okay, let's see now. Let's go to drawing app. So I'm going to remove this. Okay, and let's run this. Okay, the triangle of type equilateral was drawn. Okay, so it works. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. In next videos we're going with more advanced Spring stuff. So see you soon. Have a nice day.